Guys, day one of the period, do I want to be sat talking to you? No offense, but absolutely not. But we're here because sometimes, even when you're on your period, you've just got to get the shit done, you know? You've just got to get the work done. I hope I haven't got anything in my teeth. Now today's video is a requested video and just a real quick one. I'm just here to give you the hard facts. Now, this isn't actually all facts. It's really key, and I'm gonna have to do the whole everyone is different and you might not have these, but these are signs and symptoms that your period could be coming back. Now, we can get so caught up in the fact that we don't have a period that actually we forget that there are signs and symptoms around us, whether that's in our life, in our relationships, in our physical body, that actually it is coming back and that you are on the right track. So I thought I would just rattle off some of those so you lot can stay motivated, because I can promise you that if you are doing the work, so you're doing the inner work, you're working on your mindset and your approach around how you feel around food and exercise, plus you are eating more, addressing your stress, you're reducing your exercise, and maybe or maybe not you're working with a professional, and maybe or maybe not you've got an accountability coach to help you through it, then if you are doing all of that and then you're sort of in this like weird phase of like, it's not working for me, like, oh, maybe I need to do something else, there are signs that your body is probably telling you that you are on the right track. Now, this could literally be from exhaustion. So you may find that you're so much more tired than usual. You may find that you might do a light workout, or you might go for a walk and you feel like you want to have a nap after it. Throughout recovery, I was napping on my lunch breaks at work. That was because we were in lockdown and I was working from home, but I would literally, like, everyone would go out for lunch, like shut their laptops at 1, and I would go and have a nap for 20 minutes. I would also be going to bed really, really early, and I love an early night anyway, but very early. I just felt like my body just needed to rest. And like laying on the sofa and stuff, I was just like, oh God, I am knackered, but not really feeling like I actually had I hadn't done anything to sort of be massively exhausted with. So the fact that you're tired is a sign that you are recovering and that your body is trying to sort of repair itself. My boobs definitely got bigger, but not necessarily, I don't know if they've gone up a cup or not, you know. Maybe I should go get them measured. I don't really wear normal bras, so when I do, yeah, I guess they're probably a bit small. Anyway, but COVID, right? Who's gone to get their boobs fitted? Bra fitted during COVID, or boobs measured during COVID? I wonder, do they still do that? Anyway, weird, eh? But my boobs felt, yeah, I think they have got bigger, but no, they definitely have, but they have generally felt fuller, and I'm trying my best to, when I talk to you, to not just be here groping myself, but they've just felt as if the actual boob has something in it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but throughout recovery, I could have done burpees, I could have ran downstairs, I could probably run a marathon with no bra on at all, because there was literally like non-existent, whereas now there feels like there is actual boob tissue in it, and that is to do with our hormone fluctuations. And someone recently asked me about like why our boobs get bigger and sore, and that is literally just our hormone fluctuations. So yeah, if your boobs are getting bigger and feeling more full and maybe even more sore, that is a good sign, because it means that there are some hormone fluctuations. And I believe the increase in boob size is something to do with estrogen, but don't quote me on that. You may find as well that throughout recovery you're feeling slightly weaker, so you may feel as if like a bit, I guess it's a bit like the exhaustion, you may feel as if you're like, I don't know, you lifting, or if you are doing any sort of strength training, if you are continuing that throughout your recovery, because obviously everyone's different, and have different priorities at each time, you may find that you feel slightly weaker. That is literally just your body probably trying to get you to rest. You may experience different PMS symptoms, from cramping to ovulation cramps to normal. I had loads of ghost periods, so I would say probably for like 6 months I had loads of ghost periods where I genuinely thought I was going to come on, had like really bad cramping and everything, and absolutely nothing. So yeah, different PMS, mood swings, 1 minute you're good, next minute you're not. That's just all to do with our hormone fluctuations. And as much as these sticky, horrible symptoms sound like they aren't great, they are actually beneficial signs. Now, of course, they could be signs of something else going on. So that's why I always suggest working with a professional as well. But if you are in recovery, this is also potentially recovery signs. So yes. Feeling a bit more anxious, again, hormone fluctuations. Emotional, again, hormone fluctuations. All pretty good signs, even though they might make you feel uncomfortable right now. You have an increase in body temperature. Now, when someone said that to me, I was thinking like, well, how the hell am I meant to know that? And then the sweats came. Now, some people have like night sweats and stuff like that. I didn't. I just felt very, very hot and very, very sweaty a lot of the time. Actually, a few days before I went on my period, sorry, a few days before I actually had my first period back, honestly, anyone, like, I had like sweat cleavage, the lot. It was quite bad. It does level out. I still get hotter before my period, which is normal, but if you are having like an increase in body temperature, then that's another sign as well. Different food cravings. You may find that you have a complete increase in appetite. So if you, just before your period comes, I tend to get a little bit more hungry. But also in recovery, you'll probably find that your appetite increases. Please, please, please honour it. Remember, recovery isn't forever. Like, if you have to overshoot that weight gain just for now, just to get your hormones right, just to get your period back, it doesn't have to be forever. We can address sort of like body composition, like later on down the line, once you've got it back and you're in a better mindset and a better place with it. But that is something, and please try to honour it. Your body will probably need a lot more fuel in prepping to get your period back. Acne, yeah, that's another thing. I tend to get it around here. You can see like I've got a couple and I've come on today. What else? I had an increase in libido. Now this was just, some people get it, but you don't tend to have an increase of libido just before you come on your period. But throughout recovery, I definitely saw an increase in my libido, unless I was sort of like stressed and there was other things going on. But overall, sort of like that increase, and that doesn't necessarily like mean like an increase in you wanting it physically. It might be that, you know, you might think about it a little bit more, or, you know, you might be a little bit more open-minded, or I don't know, whatever you're into. Water retention, yeah, generally feeling like you're a little bit puffy or a little bit bigger. That was sort of throughout the whole of recovery. Weight gain is obviously another sign, but also I found throughout recovery is that stickiness of like, if you feel like you're right in the middle of this stickiness, it's a good thing. And if you are getting lots of different like changes in your body, try to embrace them rather than go against them. We can often find like get really, really tempted to sort of like pull back and be like, oh my god, no, like and fall back into old habits, whereas like just keep telling yourself like why you're doing this, like you're doing this to feel good, right? And then finally, which is the major one for me, was an increase and a change in cervical mucus. Now, when I was growing up, just before I had my first period as a like teenager, I had loads of cervical mucus like building up to that. And then throughout HA recovery and while I was on the pill, I had absolutely none. And I was actually really grateful for it because I used to find it really embarrassing. Anyway, it turns out it's completely bloody normal. And throughout recovery, that was a huge, huge sign for me. So I now know that and again, this is just for me, like it's different for everyone. Everyone has different amounts. But because I can have quite a bit at certain points of my cycle, I knew that at certain points, if I was having a lot, then this was also a good sign. So yeah, there's loads of different ways around that your body will physically tell you that you're on the right path. But in terms of like socially, I think if you think that you're on the right path, if you're not stressing about it, it's not the only thing you think about. If you're feeling more free around food, you're having fun, you're going out with friends, you're like eating foods that you never even dreamed of, and you're just sort of living your life, that's all a sign that you are on the right path. And as much as like you might not have your period back, the more you can just lean into that fun and just like embracing your life and living it, the quicker I believe your period will come, because the more you're enjoying your life, the less you're focusing on what you don't have and you're more focused on what you do have. Mix that in with, you know, making sure you are eating more and stuff like that, then I think you're onto a winner. So yeah, those are a few signs that I had when my period was coming back. Keep going, and most importantly, try to enjoy your life. Try to just ride it. And it's like I said, it's better to get on the wave than not get on the. It's better to ride the messy wave than not get on the wave at all, because the wave's always going into shore. So, yeah, please stay with it. Did you hear me? Please stay with it. And if you are struggling, then please DM me, join a workshop or anything like that. Bye.